It's so nice to see everybody. It seems like a long time since we've been together, and it's so great to see so many of you here. So thank you so much for coming. Before we get started, I would like to just mention that we have two special guests in the room with us. That's the new pastor, Michael Morris, and his wife, Karen. If they could stand up, I think they're here somewhere. There they are. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I talked to Chaplain Bill last night on the phone from New York, and he is having a wonderful summer up in Seneca Lake, and he sends his love to everyone. So he'll be back sometime October, November-ish. Now I'd like to call up John Howell, our new maintenance supervisor, and he's going to open us up in prayer, and he's going to tell you a little bit about himself.
Good morning. Will you pray with me? Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the beautiful day you've given us. Thank you for the air we get to breathe, the sunshine we get to feel, for the rain that may or may not come today. We thank you for how you bless us in ways that we can see, in ways that we cannot see, Lord. I ask, Lord, that you bless this time here together. Let it be a time where you are glorified in everything that is said and everything that is known here. I pray, Lord, that you will give us wisdom and discernment as we learn and discuss what is happening around the village and other areas. I just pray that you allow us to be gracious and kind with each other. In your name, amen. I'm very excited to let you know that I enjoy working for the maintenance department. I think that's important for you to know right from the very beginning. I like that job, right? I want to start by letting you also know something else. I have a secret. I think it's important to know that I'm pretty good at those, but I'm going to share this one with you. I know God's first name. Absolutely. Do you guys know God's first name? Do you know it? I know it because it's in one of those old hymns. His first name is Handy, right? His first name is Andy, and here's why I know that. Because the old hymn says, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells. You know the song, right? You got that, right? And that's how you know that I'm a pastor, because I think it's hilarious, and you guys would just shake your head, right? So, I want to take just a moment to talk a little bit about the team here. I'm very grateful for the maintenance team that we have. They are men, and they work so hard doing the stuff they're doing. They're hard workers who work for the Lord. They take pride in the work they're doing. They really care deeply about the village. I'm very grateful for the leadership that we have here. They are working very hard to understand what is going on. I'm thankful for their confidence and support. I'm thankful for the vision they have for the village. I'm thankful for their willingness to entertain new ideas and new thought processes in order to move us forward. I'm very thankful for you guys. I'm very impressed by you. Now, I have some gray. I imagine in time it will get a little bit more gray. But I'm a little younger than some, and so it's important for me to just sort of watch and see how things are. And I see how you take care of each other. See how you care for each other, how you support each other and work with that. I'm thankful for the encouragement that I've heard from you, that you've shared with me. And I'm thankful very much for how you guys engage in active problem solving. You have a lot of ideas. Some of them I've never heard about and never even considered. And so I'm grateful to have that be put in front of me sometimes. You'll think about that one for a moment there. One of the things that we're doing with the maintenance team that I want to sort of put in front of you here is this idea of three things, right? The first thing is I'm working with our team that we want to be above reproach in everything we do and everything we say. So we don't just try to do the quickest fix that we can to get it done. We try to do it the very best that we can. In other words, we're trying to do things right rather than do it again, right? You understand what I mean there? Like, we want to do it right rather than do it again. That's part of what we're trying to do there. We also understand that in being above reproach, that our work is a representation of our relationship with Christ. So what we're doing here, we sort of take that time to understand that. That's important for us as well. And the third thing I wanted to sort of put in front of you is this idea that we are working really hard to try to get organized. Habakkuk 2:2-3 says, write it down, make it plain so that those who run can read it. Well, if you're ever on the maintenance team, we're running awful hard, right? And so the only way to keep track of things is to write it down, make it plain, so that as we're running, we can do it. So what we're doing is we have all of our work orders now in a digital form, and they are added to it. Team members can add stuff to that. Certain team members can, and so we do this. Since June, we have had 228 work orders. Remember, I did talk to you guys about creative solutions earlier, right? You remember me saying that, right? Some of those things we are still looking for creative solutions for. Others we know we've got to do them, but we haven't gotten to them yet. But we have 228 work orders that have been submitted since June 1st. And some of those have other tasks associated with them. But I want to let you also know that we have right now only about 60 of those work orders open. Right? That's a pretty good ratio, right? I don't know if that's passing, but I'm not worried about that. I just know that that's what's going on. And with that said, I want to let you know a couple projects we have coming up that we finished, we took care of that are important. For instance, we took care of things like the street lights. We had some of them that were staying on during the day. I think we got all of them off, but if you see one, you know what you do. You call and let us know, and we'll get that taken care of, right? If you, we helped move the library and move that over, which was a chore, right? It was fun to be done with, and I'm glad for that. But it is, we got everything moved over. That's nice. And we are continuing to work with our vendors that we're working with to help us have great positive vendor relationships. Some of the upcoming projects we have is there's a parking lot over here by the library that's going to get paved. You'll see that happening in the next couple of weeks. We are organizing and itemizing our workshops so we know what we have and know the resources we have and can find the tools as we need them, and doing some strategic planning for the future as well. So I've shared all that with you, so now let me tell you how you can be involved. I would like every one of you to join the maintenance team in some way or form. And here's how I'd like you to do that, right? I thought about this, and I'm trying to figure out a way that this can happen for everybody, and here it is. The very best thing that I can ask for you is to be praying for our maintenance team. So when you see them riding by on their lawnmowers, rather than saying, I wonder where they're going, or what are they doing now, or how come they didn't trim my hedge over here, or how come they didn't trim that tree, or what's going on? Are they on break again? Instead of saying that, I'd rather you say, Lord, be with those men. Thank you for the work they're doing. I don't understand it and I don't want to do it, but I'm glad that they are. Right? The very best thing I can actually do. The second thing I can actually do is, if you are the kind of person that color coordinates your closet or your drawers, I would like to have a conversation with you. Now, let me clarify this, because I thought that was a good segue, but I need to make sure I say this. If all you wear are black socks, that's not color coordinating, right? That's being smart, saying this is what we're doing. All right? But if you look at your closet and say, the light clothes go here all the way over to the dark clothes, and you've got them organized that way. If you're the kind of person that knows exactly how many pieces of silverware you have or how many dishes you have, that sort of thing, I would like to have a conversation with you, right? We are going to be doing some organizing, and that might be a place where you could volunteer. Now, as a pastor, you guys understand, and I've been a Wesleyan pastor for over 20 years now, so I think I can say this, that my absolute favorite team is a volunteer team, right? Not the Tennessee Volunteers, right? But they're okay, I think, but volunteers. So if you'd like to volunteer and do that, I'd love to have you come and talk with me. If you want to come work with us, let's have that conversation as well. That's all I have for you. I will do the best I can, and I will serve every single day to the best of my ability, which, as I'm learning, sometimes is not quite enough, but at the end of the day, I'm doing the best I can. So, thank you very much. I want to take a little time to introduce Teresa. I think she's coming up, and I'm off the stage. Have a great day.
Thank you, John. This is really our slow period, actually, but we have sold 10 new places since April. And so, but before I introduce the new people, I want to talk to you a little bit about, if you've been out in the Good Shepherd's Way, you'll see the stakes out. We are starting to think about building some new duplexes out there. And I put some information back there on them. It's not exactly what they'll look like, but it's pretty much what they're going to look like. So if you know anyone that could be interested in purchasing a new duplex, I'd like to get them on my VIP list. And so we can talk to the builder about that and what because you can build them to your specs, like countertops, things like that. So anyway, if anyone's interested, pick up the flyer. And I put flyers out there for the property updates. And if you didn't get one and you need one, just come in the office. We got plenty of them. So 10 new people since April, which is really great. I know probably some of them aren't here, but I'm going to announce their name anyway. Barbara Wood, are you here? Probably not. This is another thing. I think, when I first came here to the village, it was President's Coffee then, so I thought, well, that's not part of me. I'm not going to want to be a part of any of that. So, but now it's a community coffee. So we need to really encourage our neighbors to come to these meetings so that they know what's going on. And so I try to do that. So if you see somebody new in the village, talk us up a little bit. Lois Ramsey, is she here? Dan and Sharon Orshaw. Okay, people, you need to be talking to your neighbors. David and Deb White. I know Debbie's here. She's back there. Stand up, Deb.
Good morning, Deb. How are you? Tell us where you originate from.
I come from Slidell, Louisiana.
Oh, great state of Louisiana. Okay, and how long have you been with us?
About 3 months now.
And how are you enjoying it?
We love it. We love the lifestyle here.
Awesome.
A little bit of heaven here.
Well, it's great to have you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Deb. Jim and Sharon Banks are here, I know that, and Jim and Jackie Heeks. One other couple I want to introduce, and they started out in a little RV, and now they've stepped up a little bit, and that's the McGarveys, Randy and Denise. And I know they're here, so we want you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, don't be shy. Stand up. Come on. Oh, you have? Oh, you did? Okay, so where are you from?
Originally upstate New York, but we've been in Haiti the last 5 years.
Haiti. Upstate New York to Haiti.
Yeah.
What were you doing in Haiti?
We oversee children's village. We care for orphaned and abandoned children.
Wonderful, wonderful. And how long have you been in the village?
Well, my parents have a place up at Melody and Jasmine, so that's been our permanent address since we moved to Haiti. So every furlough we would come here and just hang out here and then visit other friends and family, different places. But this was really our home base, our address, our permanent address.
And the weather's more like Haiti here than it is in upstate New York.
Just gonna ask you about that.
We freeze here too, but it's
What's your favorite thing about being in the village?
The people. We love getting to know the people. We would start by going for walks in the evening and meet all sorts of people out on their carts and on walks, and we love that part of it.
and I love that they think we're not old enough to be here.
Love that. Awesome. Well, welcome. We're glad to have you both here. Thank you.
Thank you. This is the part of the job that I like, is I get to meet all these people and hear their stories. So I'm encouraging you to check out, seek out the new people and become friends with them. So next up is Deb Sheehan.
First, I want to thank Shirley and Karen for 4th of July activities while I was gone. I heard lots of good feedback for that day, so hopefully we can plan a few more of those. I just added to the schedule, and I'll put up on the sign-up sheet, or the sign-up sheet on the bulletin board today, but on Tuesday, we're going to the Beacon Theater to see Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. The tickets are $6, and the bus will leave at 11:15. On Friday the 29th, we're going on a dinner cruise in the Calypso Queen. That's already filled and paid for, but the bus and the van will leave at 10 a.m. if anybody's signed up. We're gonna start the Sunny Side Up and the lunch punches back up in August. Barb, who will be up here in a couple minutes, will fill you in on some more activities that she's helping me to coordinate. On August 2nd, Wilma, I can't pronounce it, Weisbracher, we're celebrating her 90th birthday. On September 9th, I have a day trip booked to the Florida Aquarium, and I'll get those sheets up soon. September 17th is our village-wide yard sale. Those are the ones that are currently booked. I have several that I'm working with. On August 18th, I'm working with Senior Adventures to do a bus trip to Kennedy Space Center. And what it would be is a bus and the van from here take us up to their location, and we get on their tour bus for the day. Don't have all the details worked out yet, but that's in process. Also, I'm working with Stage West Playhouse. There's going to be an Eagles tribute band there on August 19th. I'm working with Sight and Sound to do a watch party to watch David live from Lancaster here in the dining hall on September 2nd. There's also an Elvis festival in Mount Dora in September that I thought many of you would like to go see. And I want to remind you that the cruise flyers are out there. If anybody's interested in going on the cruise, January 12th through 16th. We're doing sign-ups now, and I have a couple of individuals who are looking for roommates. So if you want to go and you don't have a roommate, just let me know. Barb, you want to come up and fill them in on some of the activities that you're helping me with, or helping us with?
Okay, well, thank you. I'm going to start letting you know I'm a little hoarse. I've just come from COVID, and I can compete with anybody as a bass singer now. So, but anyway, I also want to thank you for prayers for my father. He has a very long road to go. He's in rehab right now. They moved in because of COVID. He now has a roommate that is not fully vaccinated. So we are requesting no visitations, or that they are there too. So thank you for your prayers, and it has meant a tremendous amount to us as well as to him. Okay, now what I'm really here to talk about is the Dairy Queen. Now I don't know, there's a lot of new people here, and you may not realize what Dairy Queen has done for this village in the past. Randall could actually come up here and talk about this a lot more than I could. But they have been great partners here. If we wanted ice cream, they were always there to supply it for us. The first time I ever was in Dairy Queen, we couldn't find a place to be seated. It was just their typical Tuesday or Thursday day where they have their kids meal. That's what, $2.99 now. I think it was less than $2 at that time. But anyway, the village would come in there on those days. Dave and I was there one evening, and this is in the winter months, and we were seated with a couple that were here to celebrate their parents' home, and the owner, Dan, came out and was seated with us. He was not complaining, but he just was telling me how it used to be, and the village had not come back after COVID. We had other things that we did on those days, and that's okay, and maybe you got tired of chicken and fries, that's okay too. But it was just a statement that he made, and it really resonated with me, that I thought, we are a village, we are a community, we are a Christian community, and maybe we can give back to them. So that's what this is for. It's not to get free ice cream again, or it's not for you to give the Christmas party like it used to do, and there was a huge cake, and he had a Santa Claus, and there was somebody singing, walking around, and you could not find a place to be seated inside or outside. And he just did that for us as a village. But what I would like to do, and I have talked to the manager, and she will have to maybe adjust her schedule for this particular day. I picked Thursday. Now, I didn't pick Tuesday because I'm thinking, well, that's Hillbilly Band, and I didn't want to take away from that. But if we could just, as a group, go in there, wear our name badge. This is new staff there now. They don't know we're from the village. They don't recognize our faces, maybe. But let's present ourselves as the village. And we'll go on, I'm picked Thursday, I picked 5 o'clock. If you don't want to go then, and you say, well, I want to go 4, just let me know. Dave and I are agreeable. And I have told her, I said, I'd like to have at least 15 people. I don't know if I can get that many, but I said, we'd like to start coming back and just showing our appreciation to what they've done for us in the past. She was very excited, and I know the owner would be as well. So the 4th, I think, is the 1st August. And I do appreciate you all bearing with me because of Dad's illness, and then I was sick, that I had to cancel everything this particular month, but I'm going to go forward here in August. But anyway, we'll start this at 5 o'clock. We'll have the van out here, and I'm going to hope we have more than 15 people, and I'm going to pull the Dave have the bus, and I'm going to have the van up there. But we can do it all day on Thursday. Go in, wear your name badge, and have a kid's meal if you want. Go in, have an ice cream if you want. But let's just start showing them, and we're going to do this every Thursday, every Friday. We're going to charge 50 cents to ride the bus or the van, or just fill your car up and show up down there. You can go anytime during the day, but let them know that, hey, we are the village. We are here, and we are making a difference in a little community, a little building on the corner of a street, and it's a witness. That's how I look at it. And that's how I also look at the lunch bunches. I want to thank Kevin. I went in the office one day and I said, Kevin, COVID's opening up a little bit. I said, do you think we could start lunch bunches again? He went, yay, go for it, just like that. And then, so I did, and Deb come on board, and she's asked me to go ahead and continue that. So, coming up, I haven't called and made the reservations for this, but I'm just going forward. We're going to start with the Sunny Side Up on August the 1st, and that's up for breakfast. And thanks to Marty for telling me about that place. I loved hearing from people. Dick is in here, and he is so good. He'll send me texts. Well, here's some places that we like. And so I said, oh, good, thanks, keep them coming. And I love Dick Alderman. He told me one day, I said, well, Dick, where would you like to go? And he says, oh, I don't care, anywhere you go, I want to go. So that's always nice to know. So we're going to go with, someone had suggested Peck's Oakport Cove. That's on the 10th. On the 17th is Lollygaggers. I just like the name. I don't know what it's like, and it might not even be something we want, but don't you like Lollygaggers? I like that name. And then Dick had told me about Mario's. I've never been there, but let's give it a try. And if you come and just have fun. That's what this is all about. It's for fellowship. It's for us as a Christian community to go in. I always make a lot of phone calls to these restaurants and let them know that we're coming. And then I try to thank the managers or make the call the next day and thank them for helping us and taking such good care of us. So thank you, and I think somebody else is next. But and if you don't like it, just thumbs down. Let me know. My phone's out there to call me and say, I don't think we want to do that, or I don't want to go there. Or if you got another place, please let me know. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Laura.
Next, I'd like to introduce Sheriff Mike Ferry. He's gonna, is that your name? That's who I spoke to.
It's just not sheriffs.
Okay, from the Sheriff's
There
Department.
you go.
And he's gonna share with us some programs that are available to seniors on safety and other topics.
Sorry. My name is Michael Terry. I'm with the Hernando County Sheriff's Office. I'm the Deputy PIO, which means Public Information Officer. So anytime the media calls, or my wife is trying to call me right now for some reason, but we handle all media calls and television stations, newspapers, and whatnot. So a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Michael Terry. I've been in Florida about 20 years now. I actually came from Kansas. Anybody here from Kansas? Ah, they way back there. I was born in Topeka, Kansas, and went to the University of Kansas for journalism. And I did that for a number of years, actually down here in Florida. I don't know how many of you remember Hernando Today, back when the Tampa Tribune owned it. I worked there for a number of years, and then I kind of saw where the newspaper industry was going, and I said, I probably need to get out of that. So I had friends at the sheriff's office, and decided that that would be a nice transition. So that's kind of where I went into. About 5 years ago, I became an auxiliary deputy, which means I have all the powers of a deputy, except I usually have to be with another deputy to execute those. I'm currently going through the police academy now to finish up my certification. I graduate in 3 days, and then I will be a reserve deputy. I'll still do my job here, but on the weekends, I'm gonna go out there and continue to support the guys, the men and women out there who are doing the job. So I can just work on myself now, so that's nice to do. I'm pretty knowledgeable on most subjects about the Sheriff's Office because I've worked here about 7 years now. Two of the topics they asked me to speak on are very important. The first one I kind of want to talk about is Caroline because I think it could affect some of you here in this room. Caroline is a program that the Sheriff's Office offers for free, and it's designed for elderly or individuals who live alone and have health conditions. It's kind of like, they call it a lifeline to your well-being. How it works is you sign up for the program, and unlike other programs where they call you, we actually make you call us. So every morning, you get an assigned time to call into the Sheriff's Office. So between 6 and 10 o'clock in the morning, you can call in. And all you have to say is, this is Joe Smith. I'm good today. Just wanted to let you know. And then they mark it down, and they mark you down as okay. And if you don't call, they'll start calling you after 10 o'clock. And if they can't get hold of you, then they call your contact, who's usually a neighbor next door or someone who's close by who can check on you. If that person can't get hold of you, then you give us permission to enter your house and try to find out what's happened to you. Maybe you fell and can't get to the phone, or maybe, God forbid, you passed during the middle of the night. And what the program is designed to do is not only help people who have fallen, who can't get to the phone, which we've done that a number of times. They could have sat there for 4, 5, 6 days because nobody would have checked on them if they didn't have this program. Or we have other individuals who have unfortunately passed away, and they don't have anybody to check on them as well. And you know what happens in that instance, and lots of times they have pets and whatnot, and I can kind of tell you how that's going to end. So again, we're able to get them to where they need to go, so they don't have any undue, and their family doesn't have any undue situations to deal with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days after the individuals have died. So it's an entirely free program. I put some brochures over on the table over there. Anybody who's interested. Like I said, mostly for people who live alone, who don't have people check on them regularly. We have 4 ladies who make the call, or who answer the calls every day. So they get to know all the people who are involved in the program. And some people like to talk a little bit, and they chat with them, and they get to know them over the course of the years they're with the program. We've had some people with the program for over 25 years. So I believe she's like 96 now. So, but she's still going strong, living alone, and has her case of wine delivered to her every month. So she was very interesting to meet. We did a commercial and we got to meet her. So anybody who's interested in that, the brochure's over there. If you're computer savvy, you can go on our website, hernandosheriff.org, and just go under programs, and it's called Caroline. And they'll mail the application right to you. They'll actually send somebody out to do a little interview with you to decide, if you qualify for the program. Most people qualify for the program, especially if you live alone. The second program they wanted me to talk about were safety and security surveys, which I'm sure probably is good to all of you. It's a special program we got state training for, and we go to houses, residents, and actually businesses who request it, and we look at the inside and the outside of your house or business, and we give you recommendations or suggestions of way to improve your safety. Everything from windows to doors to locks, shrubbery around your building to cut it down, lighting, give you suggestions for better lighting at your house, just a way to make your house safer. That being said, I can't remember the last time I've been in Wesleyan Village, so that's a good thing for the Sheriff's Office. You seem to have a very nice community and a lot of good people here, but it's always good to do whatever you can to protect your home, to protect your neighbors, and at the very least, you know, if you don't do a safety and security survey, again, you can request that from the Sheriff's Office. We'll have one of our cops deputies, or I'm even able to do that as well. It takes about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how large your house is. We'll come and do a quick walk around inside and out with you there. And then about a week later, we'll give you a detailed write-up of everything that we found that you could or could not do. You can take with what you want with that information. It's just suggestions. It's nothing we say you absolutely have to do. So that information, again, is on our website. You can just call the Sheriff's Office and we can get you set up for that. One other thing I heard somebody mention a little bit earlier was volunteering. Sheriff's Office has plenty of volunteering opportunities as well. We're always looking for people to answer the phones. We're looking for people who do light clerical work or typing. We were looking for people who can sew. So we have a lot of uniforms, and we have a lot of patches that go on those uniforms, and so we're actually looking for somebody to help sew patches and things of that sort. Just little things that keep people busy. People are looking for something to do. You can volunteer at the Sheriff's Office. Really the only requirement, or not requirement, but if you have any felony convictions, probably not going to be allowed to volunteer at the Sheriff's Office. You do have to go through a background check. And you'd be surprised, you know, we get a lot of people who put in an application and have you ever been arrested before? No. And of course we do the background investigation. I'm like, well, you know, 40 years ago, you got arrested for burglary and battery and, oh, I didn't think the criminal record would go back that far. So, we go back all the way, so there's a record of it if you've ever been arrested, even if it's been, I forget what the term is off the top of my head, but it's expunged. We can see it. We see it all. So just because we're law enforcement, so we can see all that. So. Is there any questions? Anything that about the Sheriff's Office that I could possibly answer that you might be interested in? Any program I haven't spoke about? We have Eyes on the Street as well. What that is anybody who has a camera on their home. Anybody have cameras on their home? Ring doorbell, Nest, anything? All right, a couple people. So what you can do with that is, we have a special registry at the Sheriff's Office, and you can go online and do it. And you can put your home information to the Sheriff's Office that you have, a ring or whatever it happens to be. And if there's ever a crime in your area, instead of us having to go canvass the entire neighborhood and look for Ring doorbells or Nest cameras on people's houses, we can just go in our database and go, oh, this house is next to that place that got burglarized. We can go ask them if they have any video of the incident. So it just helps us out, saves us a little bit of time in the investigation when we know where certain cameras are. And then it's your choice whether you share it or not. We already have a partnership with the Ring where they automatically share your video, but they have to get the homeowner's permission first. So they'll let you know that their cameras are in the area, and then we say, well, we'd like to see those cameras on whatever street it happens to be. And then they'll send you a notification and go, you have video from this time frame where a crime occurred. Would you be willing to share your video with the Sheriff's Office? And you can say yes or no. We never know the outcome of those, so. But it's come out handy. Video obviously is very helpful in solving crimes. And the more of that we can have, the better. And as you know, everywhere there's video now. So it's harder and harder for people to get away with crime, so. I think that's kind of it, unless anybody else had any other questions. Wow.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. you all for having me.
You're either quiet or shy, I'm not sure which. So now I'm going to give you a few updates, just overall general updates of things that are going on around our village. The library is going to be opening up August 1st, and you'll be going in the side door to the library because the Philippi Center will not be open until around October 1st. We have furniture coming and we're still doing some renovations in there. Volunteers are needed for the cafe upcoming season. The cafe is going to be under the direction of Lucille Nemeth this year. So if you're interested, the cafe will open November 11th and the first volunteer meeting will be November 1st. So mark your calendars, we can use your help for that. If you haven't picked up your recycling cans yet, they are here. You need to sign them out of the office. There are 2 recycling bins that you'll be picking up. And they started already on July 18th. We have a few bumps in the road with that. Hopefully it'll go smoother as we move through, as Republic gets the list of people who have the recycling bins. For our directory, we need photos. The old photos don't come over because they're copyrighted, so you need to either come into the office and get a new photo, or you can send one in. All right? Bless you. Your personal information sheets. Make sure your emergency contact is up to date. Recently, we've had to go and check the emergency contact for a few people, and we've had trouble reaching the emergency contact. So please come into the office and just make sure that that is correct. As John alluded to, the maintenance staff, we need help with pressure washing and other jobs. And in housekeeping, we need some more housekeeping staff. So if you know of anybody that is available to work any of those positions, please let us know. I want to draw your attention to the Hernando County All Hazard Disaster Planning Guides. We have some set out at the tables. So make sure that you look this over. We are in hurricane season right now. Thank the good Lord, none is on their way. I think it's because of all the sand that's coming across from Africa. Well, can't be completely sure about that, but I'm thankful that there's no hurricanes coming, but let's be prepared as a village. So please look over these planning kits. They're here for us. If you don't have one, we can get you one. And lastly, I'd like to just say, please read the newsletter for all your updates. We have a jam-packed newsletter with all the information that we think the village needs, from calendars to Chaplain Bill. He's away, he sends a message in the newsletter. We have tons of things available to you here. So please make sure you're reading your newsletter, okay? And that is all the updates that I have for you today. I want to thank you so much for coming to the community coffee. It's wonderful to see everybody. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your summer, and we will see you in September. Thank you.